Hello there! It's me, it's Alex, coming at you with a anime review. I'm going to be reviewing the Berserk Golden Age Arc anime. It was a 3 OVA series or a 3 movie series, I don't know what the fuck to call it, but a 3 movie series from the Berserk anime manga story line. I assumed that the Berserk anime was a lot about demon stuff, like badass, super gory, super brutal, medieval demon fighting. And this movie series didn't really do that. Berserk is about Guts and the Band of the Hawk, and basically their climb to the top. In the beginning, Guts is just a regular old mercenary, and they go to this huge-ass battle to try and take control of this castle, and he fights this huge mountainous kind of a man with an axe who has been killing everyone and having no trouble beating ass and being a badass and all that stuff. And Guts walks up and he's like, "Sup, bitch, I'm gonna kill you." And the guy's like, "No, you won't." And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna. And then he kills him like a bitch. This catches the eye of the leader of the Band of the Hawk named Griffith, who's this almost, and I'm sure he's existed longer than Sephiroth, but almost Sephiroth-esque man who's got a thinner sword compared to the rest of his compatriots and silver hair. So that's really what I got off of him. Like, you see him and you're like, I don't know about that guy. I think things are gonna be bad with him, you know? Gotta happen like that. But, I mean, throughout pretty much all the movies, he's actually a decent guy. He's actually a good guy. And it's about the brotherhood between Guts and Griffith, because they are pretty much equals whenever it comes to fighting, until later on, because Griffith keeps sort of sitting in the back row almost, while Guts is up there fucking conquering and being a badass and just getting stronger and better. I mean, it's a lot about their brotherhood. It's a lot about the rise of the Band of the Hawk and their struggles and their victories, and them going from just a lowly mercenary group to becoming knights for the king, until things happen and shit goes to hell. It gets bad. As far as animation goes, this movie heavily relies on the 3D modeling kind of animation that they've done in the more recent years. It's a couple years old, and you can tell in the first 2 movies, it's really slow. It's really slow. I mean, the action's good, but you can see the moves are very, like, they're heavy feeling, if that makes sense. But it's fast action. Like, the fight scenes are really cool, and they're definitely worth watching. But it's heavy. It's got weight. It feels a little sluggish sometimes, and that goes away in the 3rd movie. I think by that time, they sort of got their shit together, and they were like, you know what? We know how to do this better now. Let's take advantage of that, and let's do some badass shit. I think it's a mix of traditional animation and that 3D stuff, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 90% sure that it's a mix of both, which, whenever it's the traditional animation, things are beautiful. It's drawn well. It's drawn magnifique. But once we get into that 3D animation, like I said, it's a little sluggish, and that's usually during the action sequences. Probably because it's easier to do that than to draw it frame by frame, but you can tell. And it would have been beautiful if the whole thing would have been done in just hand-drawn mwah. Character-wise, we have Guts, we have Griffith, and we have Casca. Guts is the hero of the story, the one that it focuses on. He's this huge, rough, badass with a sword that's like, think of the Buster Sword, and it's like that, but cooler. Probably gonna get flack for that. He's a man's man, and he's a good guy. Like, just deep down, he is like perfect. He's a good person, he is a badass, he is strong. I wish that I could be him. Then we have Griffith. Griffith is the reason for basically all the story. He is the driven leader of the Band of the Hawk. He is the pretty boy, but he is amazing with a sword. He's more speed as opposed to Guts' brute strength. He's more tactical, he's smart, he's got all of that. He is a leader. He is a natural born leader, and he is strong, and you can tell though, as soon as you see him, you can tell that he's gonna have something bad. The second I saw him, I was like, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. Motherfucker's the bad guy. And you watch the whole anime and you're like, oh wait, no, he wasn't the bad guy. Because it really focuses on Guts and Griffith's relationship and the Band of the Hawk just fucking becoming this rising force. It's a cool story, and then the shit happens and you fucking toss that story out because the whole rest of the anime is different, I'm assuming. But that's where the movies end, basically, so we'll see beyond that. And then there's Casca. Casca's the love interest of Guts, but she really wanted Griffith at the beginning, and then as time goes on and basically Casca realizes, I'm never gonna be with Griffith, she sort of starts melting for Guts, and then they have this cute little love story, and it ends up being cool. And she's a badass too. Don't think for a second that Guts would get with a lady that could not kick some motherfucking ass. She's a badass warrior for the Band of the Hawk. This whole story is full of badasses. Like, if you want to just watch good action and just a brutal anime, this is it. As far as story goes, I'm just gonna try and summarize these things because I really don't want to give it away. I want people to experience the stories of these different animes that I'm gonna review. But it's, like I said, it's a tale of brotherhood and companionship. It's about people who were downtrodden and cast aside and weak, rising from that and becoming these great people and having influence and power. But it's also about the dark side of people and humanity and all the kind of fucked up shit that we can do. And then there's demons. So to summarize my thoughts on the anime, I'm gonna have to say a couple of things, because there's just one part at the end, once all the shit hits the fan, that it was actually, I watched this anime weeks ago, but it took me a while to sort of process it, and I'm sure anybody who's read the manga and who's watched the old anime series or who has actually watched these movies would probably, they know exactly what I'm talking about. But there's a part after the eclipse that happens, and it took me a while to process. Like, it actually affected me for a couple of days. It was something that's all I could think about. I just sat there thinking about it, and I couldn't help but have it just stew on my mind, and I couldn't process exactly what happened. I think I finally came to my conclusion on what transpired in that moment, and it hurts. It really feels bad when I think about it. So if you don't want to feel bad and you don't want to analyze things and you don't want to deal with some really dark stuff, watch the anime up until the eclipse and then stop. Because up until then, it's this beautiful, amazing, action-filled drama about rising to power and just tons of action and fun. Great up until that point. And then it gets really dark and really painful. So, like I said, if you don't want to think and feel and all that stuff, stop there and just enjoy it because you watched the happy Berserk. And then after that, if you want to get the whole experience, just go into the eclipse because it's dark, but it makes you think and it makes you feel. As far as if I'd watch it, yeah, I'd watch it, and I would recommend it to anybody. So thank you for watching. I hope this was entertaining. Let me know. I actually have new lighting and I have a new camera. So let me know what you think, and also check this shit out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm Han Solo, bitch. I dressed like this all day and walked around and went shopping and stuff because I love my Han Solo outfit. Look at this belt, it's so awesome. I don't have my gun on because it's really hard to walk with it, but yeah. Thank you for watching, I hope this was entertaining, and I'll see you later with a lot more uploads because now I have a new setup. Bye.